protesters of all age groups and social classes continue fighting for their demands in Tahrir Square, Maadi seems pretty peaceful. People in the streets started warming up to us once again, wanting to express their opinion on Egypt's uprising. The movement of January 25th was extremely peaceful, but January 28th was a horrible day for all of us. That's when the violence broke out on the streets and there was zero police forces in the streets to protect us and to protect our properties. I have faith that the Egyptian officials in charge of this chaos will be judged and arrested. My faith is based on what we've been hearing in the past few days on TV, that a certain percentage of corrupt officials are being put under the microscope, and hopefully this percentage will increase by time. It was such a surprise. It's amazing to ask for a change and have the whole government reformed in a week. It's no longer a matter of changing our president, but in the past few days, we as Egyptians have discovered so much that was never spoken of before to the public. And above it all, we made the regime understand that we are fully aware of any corruption happening.
At first it started as a peaceful protest, as you said, the youth movement. And then every political parties, whatever it is, political or religious, started to fetch for their own interest. And then after a couple of days, external factors started to appear. For example, in Maadi, me and a couple of friends out of nowhere at like 3:30 in the morning and after midnight.
Ahmed Osama is completely convinced that the uprising was ruined when certain forces attempted to interfere, trying to make the worst out of the best moment in Egypt's history. Osama tells us a story of how he and his friends were suspicious in 3 foreigners they started talking to on the streets, and after reporting them, they turned out to be spies.
Spies or...
Some truly believe in what the regime has been attempting to channel through the news, that this uprising is nothing but a conspiracy theory, while others understand that there might have been a certain extent of negative interference, but it wasn't in any way the cause of this movement. It's not impossible that other countries attempted to interfere, and the biggest proof was when Iran mentioned on Friday, the 4th of February, during their Friday prayers that this uprising is 100% an Islamic revolution, and this is no way correct. We as Egyptians went to Tahrir because we wanted to change. We did not care for the religious identity of the protesters within the movement at all, and it still is the last thing on our minds. We met with a French woman who has been living in Egypt for the past 12 years. She refused to reveal her identity on camera due to the fear she's been facing. She believes that this conspiracy theory is just a card the regime is attempting to play.
I admire the people who protected me, and also I met a lot of people. I spoke with people. Never it was possible like that, because we are on the same level of refusing the torture.
After the president's second speech and with certain demands being met, Osama believes that the protesters in Tahrir should go home.
Go home, do whatever you do, go to work, go to uni, go to school, and then see. If the government doesn't do anything, the Tahrir Square is not far. We can go there and protest again.
I'll give you the simplest of examples. When I go to get my national ID card issued out, I go with all my papers ready, but I am asked to leave and come back the next day and fill another form, only because the man in charge wanted to drink some tea or read the newspaper instead of doing his job. So it's understandable why the protesters in Tahrir are not leaving.
Yes, they have to continue. Yes. They cannot stop now.
The truth about the chaos and corruption within the past few days is yet to be revealed. Egyptians continue to protest for a better economic, cultural, financial, and educational system for everyone living in Egypt, regardless of nationality. At the end of the day, everyone just wants the absolute truth. People in Maadi and all over Egypt are starting to lead a normal life. Some are going to work, and some are going for coffee to chat with their friends and not necessarily about politics. Opinions on the streets of Egypt differ, but everybody believes that this uprising started completely positive and only turned violent up until negative internal and external forces attempted to interfere. But everybody believes that the change in Egypt is not an option, but a requirement. Salma Amer, Nile International.